All right, we are in day 10 and we're reading Job chapter 24 through Job chapter 28. And as you can see, I changed the venue a little bit today. I'm outside, and that is because today we are expecting snow in South Carolina. That's right, here in South Carolina, it is that time of the year where we expect snow, and everything is shutting down. So I decided to come outside and enjoy some of this breeze, this cold environment, and hopefully we can get a little bit of snow, enough not to close the city down, but enough to enjoy it with the kids. But listen, we are in day 10 of our Bible reading program, and if you have not already joined, you can check the description box below. There will be a link there for you to register and accept the invitation to join several people across the country reading the Bible, and even more, I believe, across the world that are reading the Bible through the YouVersion Bible app. And we're leaving comments and feedback every single day for you to enjoy and share what you are learning through your Bible reading plan. So today we read Job chapter 24 through chapter 28, and we're coming down to the end of the dialogue between Job and his friends. And we are seeing some things come out. Not much is making sense even at this point. There's still some conversations about what's actually going on. And to be honest with you, it seems as though none of them have ever really come to a solid conclusion of what is happening. But this goes to show that really, to be honest with you, none of us always know what God is doing and what he's up to. And that's okay, because we're not called to understand him and every little detail about what he does, but rather we're called to trust him and know that somewhere along the line, he's going to bring things to what he wants it to be, and he's going to make it beneficial for us as well. So there's a lot of conversation going on here between Job and his friends, and unfortunately, Job is going back and forth. One thing I pick up from this text is that, sometimes people don't deserve an answer. As much as we like to explain ourselves, as much as we like to engage in dialogue, sometimes we just need to be silent, be quiet, not speak about things we don't know, and just allow God to do his thing. But one thing I love about this text, or at least about today's reading, is the pursuit of wisdom. And unfortunately, whenever you are pursuing wisdom, these are the sort of conversations that you engage in. It's kind of hard to pursue knowledge and wisdom and not talk about it or not talk with other people. The con to that is oftentimes when we talk in our pursuit of wisdom and knowledge, we're talking about things that we know nothing about. And as time goes on, we discover just how foolish we were in some of the positions that we held. But nevertheless, the commendable thing here is the pursuit of wisdom, and not just head wisdom, not just logical thinking and critical conversation, but the sort of wisdom that gets down to the depths of what is happening on this earth and what is happening in a person's life. And this is what Job says, and I have to say, there's this one part in chapter 28 that Job spoke that I think is incredibly insightful, and it is a path for us to take as we go about our lives. In fact, this is probably where Solomon got his perspective about living wisely on earth and reverencing God. This is what he says in Job chapter 28, verse 23 through verse 28. He said, God only understands the way to wisdom. He knows where it can be found. For he looks throughout the whole earth and sees everything under the heavens. He decided how hard the winds should blow and how much rain should fall. He made the laws for the rain and laid out a path for the lightning. Then he saw wisdom and evaluated it. He set it in place and examined it thoroughly. And this is what he says to all humanity. The fear of the Lord is true wisdom. To forsake evil is real understanding. In this text, he gives us one of the most insightful truths that we've ever heard and we could ever discover about living on this earth. When it all boils down to it, when it's all said and done, the true path of living the life that God has destined for all of us is to live in fear. That word fear literally means reverence. It means reverence to God. It means that we submit ourselves not just in a bodily position, but in a heart posture. We literally bow down at the feet of God and say to him, Lord, you are the one really in control, and there's nothing outside of your will and outside of your counsel that is more profitable for my life. And so when we look at Solomon and the wisdom that he gives in Proverbs and in Ecclesiastes, this seems to be a running theme throughout his entire book. In fact, that is the whole purpose of evaluating life and discovering what it is that we must pursue in this world. And at the end of Ecclesiastes chapter 12, this is what he says in verse 13. He says, "Here now is my final conclusion. Fear God and obey his commands, for this is everyone's duty." So, as Job is discovering, perhaps his purpose in life was not to live a comfortable and an enjoyable life. Perhaps, at least for this moment, that his purpose is to suffer, to submit to God, so that in time, God can glorify himself through his life. And brothers and sisters, anyone who does that, I can assure you, we will have a beneficial, an enjoyable, and a happy life, because we're under the submission of the creator of all things. So we're going through a phase in Job's life, and it's important to remember that what we're reading about is not the entirety of Job's life. It is a period in his life that God is using for his glory. And perhaps you and I will face similar experiences, or maybe there's someone watching today who is in a phase or a period in your life where you're going through something similar to what we're reading in the book of Job. Here is the joy of reading the book of Job. We understand that it doesn't last forever. We have a few more chapters to go, and we'll discover that in due time. But brothers and sisters, thank you so much for joining us in this Bible reading plan. I hope you're getting a lot out of it. Please share with us in the description box below what you're learning, what you're picking up from this text. And if you have not already registered, please take a moment to hit that link. Go directly to the YouVersion Bible app, hit accept, and you will be right in the community of readers who are going along every single day in this word that God has given us for eternity. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Take care, God bless, and live by the word.